unusual for Harry to be in front at Dover?
Well, you know, we got behind early, too. You know, it felt like we weren't going to get back up the front, and we probably wouldn't without that break.
Again, great stop.
Thank you.
257 laps complete. We're under caution. First race here at Dover some 24 years ago. Richard Petty beat Sonny Hutchins and James Hilton July 6, 1969. Bill Elliott continues among the front three, and we asked his crew chief Tim Brewer how you're set up for Bill compared to other
just
drivers.
Depending on characteristics of racing tires. You know, back a few years ago when we ran the bias tires here, Cale would want something different from Darrell. Darrell wanted something different from Terry. Terry wanted something different from Jeff. Now Bill wants something different from everybody. So it's dictated by really the tire combination that Goodyear comes with.
Mark and my relationship goes way past business. I'm sure in a previous life he and I were twin brothers. Throughout the race, the driver and crew chief communicate. The driver complains about the car or brags about the car. It's the crew chief's job on pit stops to make whatever fixes he can to help the driver's predicament. Everyone has about the same access to equipment and technology, but the people who rub on it the most and think the most of it and think about it the most will end up winning the race.
Quote, a Dodge Ram pickup with a Magnum Cummins diesel has the power to out-torque, out-pull, just flat-out work Ford and Chevy diesels, unquote. Dodge, with new Magnum engines, the most powerful line of trucks anywhere.
At age 74, I'm the oldest Ironman triathlete.
Jim Ward has a hobby. It's called staying young.
It's a workout.
That's why he uses Armor All protectant on his dash, seats, and especially his tires. Rubber can age and crack, but Armor All penetrates to keep his tires looking like new. Jim says his tires never seem to get old. People say the same thing about Jim.
I like a good-looking car. It makes me feel good.
There is a fountain of youth, and we own the patent. Armor All.
I gotta run.
It's a week of wine, women, and Woolley on Miller & Company. Meet the flying wine man Andrew Jones, Bailey and the boys, Sheb Woolley, Chris Hillman, and Doug Gray of the Marshall Tucker Band.
Miller & Company, weekdays 1 Eastern on TNN.
Have you ever shopped in an appliance store where the prices were outrageous, the selection was terrible, and the salespeople seemed to know less about the products than you did and didn't even care? Well, come see us at Jack's, the customer-friendly store. You'll find a great selection of brand-name appliances, plus a sales staff that's not only knowledgeable, but friendly, too. Jack's backs each and every purchase with a professionally trained service department. And best of all, Jack's offers this and more every day at the lowest prices in Northeast Arkansas. Make tracks to Jack's, the customer-friendly store.
McCarty Motors invites you to test drive the all-new 1992 Isuzu Trooper and Rodeo. The Trooper offers generous interior room, excellent on- and off-road capabilities, and an outstanding value. Plus, the all-new 3.2-liter V6 delivers power when you need it. For all-purpose, all-weather family driving, try the beautiful and roomy Isuzu Rodeo. It's available in 2- and 4-wheel drive versions and in 3 well-equipped trim levels. See them both today at McCarty Motors in downtown Jonesboro.
259 laps complete here at Dover Downs. I'm Mike Joy with Neil Bonnet and Buddy Baker topside. Glenn Jarrett, Steve Evans on pit road. The debris on the track was a pair of pliers down in turn number 1. Now, I know that didn't come rolling down out of the grandstand. Something a mechanic left in a car during some of the preparations for this race.
I guess old Jock Debris dropped it when he's out there working on one of them. That Jock is giving us a lot of fits today.
I'm thinking of a joke here, but I better not. We're getting ready to go back to racing.
Morgan Shepherd's got Jeff Bodin's got a real shot at making his lap up here. He's on the inside.
And we're back to green. Harry Gant leads him down. He had the fastest pit stop. Bill Elliott. Ernie Irvin right up there in 3rd place now. Remember, he was on the tail end of the lead lap, came all the way around. Bodin's going to hold him off for the moment. Now Gant gets that good run up off the corner. Jeff Bodin's going to dive it in there hard once more. There's Earnhardt right with him.
Oh, man, here we go.
And here comes the whole field. Jeff Bodin got that thing down to the inside of the racetrack, and Amazingly, everybody gets through. Now, did the leader get the caution flag? He did, and Irvin beat him back to the line. I mean, Earnhardt, rather. Got back to the line ahead. The leader did take the caution. Earnhardt's back on the lead lap.
There's the caution car coming out to pick everybody up.
You know, it looked as though Dale might have got into the back of the 15 car, but he didn't mean to. He was just trying to make that lap up, and he got up under him there, and they just casual contact. It wasn't on purpose.
Boy, you hate to see it happen. You know, Bodine's car has been running exceptionally well, and he got caught on that same caution deal that some of the other guys did.
Ernie Irvin has the lead as a result of the run to the flag. But let's have a look.
Okay, here they come up out of the corner. It looked like Bodine's car might have just jumped out just a little bit right there. Here comes Earnhardt up under him. There's your contact. I tell you, it don't take much. Just a brush, and there he goes sideways. That's a shame for Bud Moore and those guys, because that car was running really well.
Where does Gant go here? Look at Gant sitting behind this thing, leading the race.
The good part is these guys cleared him without bumping into him.
Look, you know, it looks like Bud like Gant, nowhere to go. He sweeps out in front of him. Now, I guarantee Gant didn't know what was going on. He couldn't see solid smoke.
Okay, I'm going to explain this. Everybody knows that car has got to spin down, so everybody turned up the racetrack. That's how they got by.
And that's one of the advantages of having a bank straightaway.
Yep. Okay, you see him bump him right here? That's just enough.
You'd almost say there's no way the two lead cars can clear this wreck at this time. Sitting right directly in front of them, like Buddy said, the banking sweeps the car down off the track. Gant and those guys, look, I'll tell you that Gant missed him by 2 inches if he didn't touch him a little bit.
All these guys did a great job of not slamming.
Look at Davey right here. Kyle and Davey got together. Davey's up in the wall. They got hung up, nowhere for him to go.
And you see how Ernie Irvin gets the lead there. Gant is the leader. He's the third car in line up on the outside. Then Irvin in the yellow car on the bottom and Bill Elliott up high. The cars that are on the outside have to get hard on the brakes, and there goes Irvin on the right side of your screen. He's the new leader. Then Gant, then Elliott. Boy, Davey almost got pinched into the wall there by Kyle.
Inside the car here, trying to figure where to go. He got all tangled up coming off that corner. Back green.
Green flag with Irvin out front. And the complexion of this race changes again, with Earnhardt back on the lead lap. We saw Jeff Bodine just getting back into the race, down on the apron, coming out of the pits as we went back to green.
There's Kyle Petty fighting along with Ricky Rudd. They're trying to get back in it.
Now they're on the tail end of the lead lap. Here's Gant coming back after the lead on the bottom.
I looked over in the booth beside of us just then. We were watching reruns, so was NASCAR at the same time. I think they agreed with us. It was just something that happened. It certainly wasn't on purpose.
Big tangle of cars down in 1 and 2. I'm telling you, they all but wrecked, buddy. Right behind this shot here, there's a big mix-up back there. They got straightened out.
Earnhardt came right through the middle of that pack. Ernie Irvin, now the graphics misleading. He qualified 19th, but because he's in a backup car, he started this race dead last. Now he leads.
Not only that 9 laps ago, he was a lap down.
Yep.
What a turn it could go. He got a caution, got back in the lead lap, another caution, he's leading the race.
Kyle Petty and Ricky Rudd right on the tail end of the lead lap now. That would put 7 cars on the lead lap if they can stay out in front of Ernie Irvin.
Always aggravating. These guys are trying to stay in the lead lap, and the flagman's telling you to get out of the way of the leader. So they have a choice here. They can either move along or get out of the way, but they can't just stay right in front of him.
And you can't just roll over and play dead either. You know, you got to battle for your positions, and Irvin's wanting that racing room. He's leading the race, but these other 2 cars are plenty fast.
And here comes Earnhardt. He's the 4th place car, and on the move.
And on the move.
Ernie Irvin is the 5th different driver to lead this race. Kulwicki, Martin, Earnhardt, Gant, make that 6th. Elliott. And now
we got a spin on the back straightaway over there. One of them's the 71 car.
That's Sauter on the left side of your screen. There's another car involved.
There's 2 or 3 up down that apron. It's such a steep bank in the back straightaway. Hard to say. There's one. Looks like Schrader's car. Is that his down there?
Yes, with Sterling Marlin driving. And I'm told Jeff Bodine is part of that as well. And that will give Kyle Petty and Ricky Rudd a free pass to come around and join the lead lap.
That's what we were talking about. They had to stay there, even though the flagman wanted them to get out of the way. Now they're back in the lead lap again.
Boy, the complexion of this race changed. Kyle, we're told, has now made up nearly 2 laps. He'd almost gone 2 laps down a bit earlier after that penalty on pit road for going too fast.
We'll see where that car set Mike right now, Mike, but it looked like there was a lot of skid marks where he hit further back up the track. Let's see what happens here. Coming off the corner, you see him all the way off, too, back there. A couple of cars tangled up. Yeah, you're right. There's Jeff Bodine right there turning around. 71 car Sauter. There's 25 car with Sterling Marlin in it now. Watch, he's going to really take a wrap on the inside wall. Boy, come out there, and then the car comes on there where we saw him stopped earlier.
That's exactly right. The 15 car broke loose back there, and these guys went out and hit the outside wall and spun to the inside.
Another look at it. Already well underway.
Yeah, and that's pretty well clogged the back straight. These guys right here are going to get them a good picture, or either some sheet metal in their face. I'm not sure which.
That's why I'm not a photographer.
3 caution flags in the last 14 laps.
It always seems safer sitting inside that cage, didn't it?
I'd have had nothing but blue sky.
7 cars are now on the lead lap at lap 270. Urban, Gann, Elliott, Earnhardt, Morgan Shepherd, Kyle Petty, and Ricky Rudd are on the lead lap. We'll be right back.
At Oldsmobile, we know the difference between designing a race car to be fast and designing a race car to be a winner. The new Achieva SCX has an engine that just doesn't know when to quit. Anti-lock brakes that help make cornering a breeze. And the difference between this winner and the winner you can buy is a wash. The Achieva SCX from Oldsmobile. The power of intelligent engineering.
Yo, guys, this is Yogi. You can't top the Pringles pop. The taste is top.
Pringles? I haven't tried them in years.
Pringles taste better than these bag chips. Check it out, yo.
I'll believe it when I believe it.
So?
I believe it. They taste better.
Yeah. Observe. Bag chips feel greasy.
Grease don't taste good. Taste tastes good.
Yeah!
The American Society for Testing and Materials set a new technical standard for antifreeze used to protect heavy-duty truck engines against boiling, freeze-ups, and corrosion. Only one of the 3 best-selling antifreeze brands made for cars meets that standard. It's the patented car antifreeze that can also keep heavy-duty engines running at their peak. Protect your engine from freeze-ups and boilovers. Remember the heavy-duty standard. Don't stop short of the peak.
TNN Motorsports coverage of the Peak Antifreeze 500 by Pep Boys is brought to you by Peak, the heavy-duty antifreeze. Don't stop short of the peak. Says if God was a stock car driver, his name would be Earnhardt. Well, religion is where you find it. Even in the grandstand here at Dover Downs. Let's get down to pit road. Steve?
Tony, you've never had 3 cautions come at a better time. Now, you came in this last time while we were waiting commercial, just for a chassis adjustment, it appears.
Well, we're trying to make the car suitable to the tires. You know, Everset's just a little bit different, and these tires only had like 4 green flag laps on them, and now we know what they're going to do, and we hopefully suited the chassis to the tires, and we're not getting quite as good a fuel mileage as we need, so the extra fuel may help us near the end.
You took a little bite out of it, it looked like.
Yeah, this set of tires, like I said, is just a teeny bit tight, and, you know, it felt like if we get a little bite out of it, we'll be okay.
Go get him.
Mike, you know, we hear that all the time, buddy. Everybody's always saying all the tires are just alike, just like we've been to the radios, and it never changes. But still, when he's talking about is that little bit of difference. You know, when we show that picture in the pits, there's, you know, 2,000 tires laying on the ground, and there's a little bit of difference in all those tires. And these guys will actually cater set to set.
You know, folks, Goodyear, who supplies the tires for all the Winston Cup teams, has different compounds of rubber and some different kind of tire construction, as Sterling Marlin takes a walk into the care center, that they use before the different racetracks, and Goodyear elected to come here to Dover with a harder compound tire than what they ran when they were here earlier in the year, to try to give the cars a little better tire wear and also a tire that would hold up under the loading up here in this banking. And it's meant that a lot of the teams have had to kind of chase the chassis and figure out a much different setup than what they've had on the cars here before.
Also, Mike, when you say supply the tires, we don't want to mislead a lot of the fans. These people buy these tires. Goodyear makes them available, and you purchase them at the racetrack, and even though they supply them, you have to pay the good hard cash to put them on those race cars.
Yeah, $260 a piece. Down in Morgantown, North Carolina, Michael Bailey will be driving his new Chevy Lumina Z34 around town, terrorizing the streets as the winner of the Gillette Halfway Challenge. Winning driver, Bill Elliott, of that halfway challenge. He got $10,000. Mike Bailey gets a whole car. Congratulations. Not too late to enter next week's Gillette Halfway Challenge for the Goodies 500 at Martinsville, Virginia. Hooking up to Ken Schrader's car, going to put it on the rollback. Richard Petty runs his last over race here. He started every one of them. The only driver that came close to that number of starts here, J.D. McDuffie, had started every single race at Dover. 274 laps complete. Harry Gant up front. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Sterling, just not your day. First your car gave up, then you got tangled up in a mess out there. What happened?
It looked like a 15-car spun over there, and I guess the 71. I was right behind him, and I seen him spin, went high, and the 71 cut up to miss 15. And, you know, turned Kenny's car to the wall, and, man, I hate it for him. You know, I was wanting to run Kenny's give out in there, and he said, I guess I don't owe you much. You didn't run too long, but I hate to tore the car up, and, you know, we'll get him next week.
Okay, better luck next time.
Ken Schrader was 14th in points coming into this race. Sterling Marlin was 16th in points coming into this event. Bill Elliott owns a lead of 134 points over Davey Allison. Let's go to Steve Evans.
All right, I got my $1.98 calculator out here, and that $10,000 Bill Elliott earned here today made him only the second driver to top $12 million in Winston Cup earnings. I don't have to tell you guys up there who the #1 money earner is, and there's a big gap between he and Elliott, about $3 million. Of
course, if Dale Earnhardt had all that money,
the way they pay now, that's half a season.
Yeah.
You know, buddy, you were talking before the top of the show about your dad. Won the championship, won a bunch of races, and you look back at the purses they won back then, it's unbelievable what it's gone to, isn't it?
Yeah, but that back end, $1 was $1 too. You know, that has a lot to do with it. Also, folks, when we talk about Harry Gant, we all love him up here in the booth, and he's certainly not an old man. He's a lot younger than a bunch of people out there, believe me.
Yeah, we got one of the calls wanting us to quit calling Harry Gant an old man. When you call anybody on this racetrack, it's respect. It's nothing detrimental meant by anything we say about it.
Well, they call Nolan Ryan the old man. They call Jimmy Connors the old man. They're kids compared to Harry Gant.
Gant has laughed about it all the way to the bank.
You bet.
Several times lately.
We're getting set to go back to green after this 7th caution period of the afternoon. Six different drivers have led this race. Let's check with Glenn Jarrett real quick.
Ken Schrader has been released from the infield care center. Ken, first thing, are you okay?
Yeah, we just had a little nuclear meltdown there. Sterling just come in and he said, damn, you did have a hot box there. And I've never had to get out of the car, and I don't think I'm going to do it again, but I had to today.
Had to be a bad feeling to be sitting in there and see the guy that got in your car come in there after a crash.
I felt real bad for Pop and Rick and the whole Kodiak team, because we haven't given them much to talk about this year. We're not done yet, but I was glad to see Sterling was okay.
Okay, better luck next time.
When he talks about Pop and Rick, that's Rick Hendricks, and Rick Hendricks' dad is listed the car owner at Schrader's, and you talking about a racer, he loves it.
Davey Allison trying to get his lap back. Bill Elliott holds him off. Harry Gant, the race leader. New third-place car, fellow we talked about at the top of the show and then didn't see for a while, Ricky Rudd, is back on the lead lap and running third. Rudd in that tied car. Trouble out the back straightaway.
The spin all
5, 6, 7 cars.
Keep counting, Mike. Keep counting. There's more. I'm telling you, the best of them.
I collected a bunch of them, including Richard Petty. He was right in the middle of that deal.
Davey Allison does not get back on the lead lap. Gant and Elliott meet into the line. There's Dick Trickle's car. Richard Petty up against the inside retaining wall.
Boy, there's some more. The #1 car, Rick Mast.
There's Jim Sauter, 71.
Looks like the 9 car of Chad Little up on the left.
Dave Marcus. Excuse me, Jimmy Means.
There's one
There's
car.
Darrell Waltrip torn up real bad coming out. 90 car of Hut Strickland.
Right.
And these are the ones that just stopped. There were several of them that drove on damage through the wreck.
The field's about got to stop to get through. Chad Little.
Wow, look at that.
Waltrip.
Boy, I tell you, Darrell's had such a good run here the last few months and really improved in the points, won a bunch of races. He's got big problems. And there's, boy, look at that thing of Trickles torn all to pieces.
This car of Trickles looks like a gremlin. Look at the back of this car. There's nothing there.
Yeah, this will make you appreciate fuel cells, folks. That hose hanging out there is the overflow hose for a fuel cell, and it's literally knocked on the ground, and there's not a bit of fuel coming out of the car. There's Darrell. He's going to try to turn in the garage. It's going to be tough. Going in his pit, he's got the wheel hung all the way out to the left.
Made it. 10 cars were involved. Richard Petty, Dick Trickle, Mike Waltrip, Jim Sauter, Chad Little, Jimmy Means, Darrell Waltrip, Hut Strickland, Dave Marcus, and Rick Mast.
I see Richard Petty moving around in there. I seen the rag that he uses to wipe his face and all that. And his mouth, you see him moving around in there, telling them what to do. So
he's okay. Ernie Irvin on pit road, one of the top 5 cars.
You know, it's amazing. When you see these drivers in the kind of wrecks we just saw, the first thing that comes to their mind, let's get this thing cranked, get it back around there, and try to get it back in the race. No matter how bad you tear one up, you think you can always fix it.
Well, I don't know about that one.
Now, I was bragging on that fuel cell. It doesn't do them any good to drag them on the ground.
No.
So they'll have to get in their park. There's Chad Little's car.
He's okay. We need updates on Jeff Purvis. He did climb out of the car that he wrecked up in turn 4 and is okay. Chad Little's all right. Going to get the mandatory ride to the care center. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Well, here's Rick Masters, brought his car to the garage area. Rick, can you tell us what happened out there?
Not really. I came off the corner, and the only thing I seen was smoke and cars everywhere. Our alternator went out about the 100th lap mark. We've been running on 6 cylinders, just kind of riding in there. It was a big melee. I tell you, the problem right now is the track is real super slick on these restarts. It's a lot of rubber, a lot of dirt on the racetrack, and the guys are having an extra time holding on to it.
Okay, that's the story from Rick Mast. He has heavy damage to the right side of the car. They're going to try to get the thing fixed and back out there. So let's go back upstairs to Mike Joy.
Thanks, Glenn. Darrell Waltrip, Davey Allison, and Jim Sauter on pit road right now. Bobby Hamilton, Rusty Wallace, and Brett Bodine making stops. 280 laps are complete. We'll have replays of this jam session on the backstretch when we come back.
He's waiting about a car length and a half behind Al Jr. Al Jr. now lengthens it out. He's trying to hold him off. Goodyear low, Jr. high. They go to 4, Bob Lanning.
Allison Jr. has the lead. One more turn to go. Here they come. Coming to the finish line. Bob Jenkins, who's going to win it?
The checkered flag is out. Goodyear makes a move. Little Al wins by just a few tenths of a second. Perhaps the closest finish in the history of the Indianapolis 500.
Hey, I like to save money as much as the next guy. But what are the odds that there's going to be a sale on the parts you need when your car breaks down? Hey, it's not going to happen. That's why I go to AutoZone. I mean, sure, you could wait around for a couple weeks and maybe beat their price by a few pennies someplace else. But I don't want to wait for a sale when I need a part. Now, what more could you ask for?
I don't need some fancy aftershave to tell me I'm a man. And I don't need some expensive cologne to make time with the ladies. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great. It also cools my skin, tones it up, and takes care of it after a good close shave. I don't need anything more. Confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
Skin Bracer Aftershave, more than a great scent.
By Menon.
Coming up tonight on Race Day, we'll have all the highlights of today's ARCA race, as well as the latest stop on the NHRA Nationals Trail, plus all the action from last night and around the country, along with today's exciting Winston Cup race highlights. If it happened this weekend in motorsports, you'll see it tonight on Race Day.
Race Day, 2nd edition.
8:30 p.m. Eastern today on TNN Motorsports.
Just a moment ago, Richard Petty, after a chat with Jimmy Martin, team manager there, or his special assistants, walked into the care center. He is okay. Dick Trickle's car is not.
And that is definitely a non-smoking area.
Darrell Waltrip's car is still on pit road. We're back to live action now as they try to repair Darrell's car. Let's have a look and see if we can figure what happened.
Boy, looks like Trickle lost it.
Trickle got sideways there, got up into the wall, comes across the racetrack, and here we go.
Earnhardt just missed him.
Everybody behind him, I can't see. They don't know where he's at. They jam on the brakes, and it just starts a chain reaction.
I mean, this buddy.
Look at Mark Martin come right through the middle of it.
There's Morgan Shepherd making it through. It's no different than when you're going down the road and run into a fog bank on an interstate. That's exactly what you get into with that much tire.
Okay, here's Trickle. He's up in the loose stuff. You see the car brake loose right there.
There's Earnhardt and Rusty going by on the inside.
Of course, right now you got 24 spotters all screaming into the radios.
Look at Derek Cope there. You talk about skirting by. You know, 5-6 years back before we had these safety cells and all, that would have been an awful fire there. There were 2 cars that were definitely caught on fire with the old fuel system. Look at Richard.
Ooh, he and Chad Little together, and then they came down into Waltrip.
Looked like maybe they'd already Richard already gotten back, and maybe Waltrip. He had the nose really caved in before he got in the outside wall.
Glenn Jarrett.
You can see the crew trying to repair some of the damage to the number 8 Snickers Ford. A lot of damage. Hard to believe that Dick was able to drive that car back in here. Dick, looked like the thing got out from under you. What happened out there?
Well, it got out from under me. We were all tight in the pack on a restart there, just bumper to bumper, you know, and I was just going fast, the car ahead of me, and, you know, somebody just knocked the living hell out of me, and I mean, just knocked the car right out. I don't know why, but I just got hit terrible hard and just knocked the car clean out from underneath me. And of course, everybody's in a tight pack and just scrambled up everybody. And, you know, the Snickers Ford was running real good. We're in the top 3. We got to cut a tire down and got a lap down, but we were in a hunt to get 3rd place, you know, and probably pick our lap back up. No, I just don't know. I'm not sure who hit me, but there might have been some kind of mess up behind me, too, that somebody else got hit. I don't know.
Okay, thanks a lot. Steve Evans?
Well, it's mandatory, Chad, when you're in a train wreck like that you come to the care center, but I've never seen a line. What, you have a number to get in here or what?
I don't know. It's just one of those deals. The chain reaction. I saw the Snickers car, the 8 car, you know, hit the wall hard coming out of turn 2, and can't slow down in time. And you know, it's just one of those deals. We all tried to go high and got pinched into the wall, and then everyone's spinning around, and it's the way it goes.
Did it look like anybody hit Dick Trickle?
I couldn't tell you. When I saw him, his car was completely in the air and pieces going everywhere. He hit the wall pretty violently, so I don't know what got him in the wall, but you know, it wasn't very far in front of us, and it left the 8 or so cars that were behind him with nowhere to go.
Well, cars can be fixed. The most important thing, all of you are okay.
Yeah, I think everyone's okay, and you know, it's a tribute to the good, safe cars, and just try to get them next week.
Okay, thanks, Chad.
Chad Little out of this race. A lot of cleanup activity on the back straightaway. We'll be right back to Dover Downs after this.
Hi, I'm Charlie Chase.
And I'm Lori Ann Crook, inviting you to join us for CMA Preview 92, a close-up look at all the nominees for the 26th Annual CMA Awards.
Don't miss it. The CMA Awards Preview 92, Saturday.
Ozark Hearing Aid Service, 108 East Huntington, has over 20 years of experience at helping you hear better for less. You know, there's a difference between hearing and understanding, and Ozark Hearing Aid Service offers a free hearing test. Your hearing will be tested in the amazing Egg Chair, a relaxing new way to see if you're like millions who can benefit from today's new hearing technology. Call 935-0590 for an appointment today. Ozark Hearing Aid Service, 108 East Huntington.
Seconds at your favorite retail location for a shopping spree of up to $20,000. To enter, call 1-900-370-4866. You can enter as often as you like. Each call costs 95 cents per minute. Or send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to this address. Or you can pick up an entry form at your local Winnebago dealer. And wait, there's more. 10 cruises for 2 around Alaska, including airfare and spending money. With all these great prizes to win, you better get your entries in soon for the TNN Explorers America Sweepstakes.
Will taste good.
Those amber waves of grain are not just confined to the fields of the Midwest, as TNN explores America and invites you to visit Delaware. Largest crowd for a sporting event, single sporting event in Delaware history. In fact, this race has held that record for many, many years, and as they keep adding seats, keeps increasing it. There's Elmo Langley. We had a call about Elmo not wearing a seatbelt. You see he's got a seatbelt and the shoulder harness in place there. He drives the Pontiac safety car. Now, earlier in the season, he was using just a 3-inch lap belt like the race drivers use. Now he uses the regular harness, just like you should on the highway. Harry Gantz, the race leader, he's led 17 of 283 laps, 8 cars on the lead lap, 8 lead changes among 6 drivers. Average speed keeps dropping, no chance of a record today.
How many cars are out of the race?
You know, we're showing the 4 car in the lead. I don't know. He's right behind the pace car also, so I think
that'd be good.
I see Harry in 5th now.
Well, that's after pit stops.
Yeah.
Under this caution flag, it's Irvin, Bill Elliott in 2nd, Earnhardt in 3rd, Ricky Rudd in 4th, Harry Gant in 5th, Kyle Petty is 6th, Mark Martin is 7th, and Morgan Shepherd is 8th. So 8 cars now on the lead lap. Rusty Wallace is a lap down in 9th, and Brett Bodine is 10th. Mike Waltrip has completed repairs. He'll go back in the race. They're still working on Darrell's car on pit road. The front end of his car well messed up. Richard Petty came down the banking and into Darrell as everybody tried to avoid what became a 10-car mess on the backstretch.
See that little blower run along on the inside of the track there. He's probably headed to that back straightaway. When we were showing that shot of the back straightaway a while ago, looks like they put oil dry out with a dump truck. They're going to have to clean it up or the drivers won't be able to see on the restart.
Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, guys, we just came from the garage area where all these crash cars were, the guys with bad luck. Here's a guy whose car has had good luck all day. He's narrowly missed a couple of bad incidents there. You finally got the thing back where you wanted it, Richard.
Yeah, you know, we're not getting the mileage today we want to. We're pulling a little more gear than usual here. And the car's working real good. You know, a couple other cars have got theirs. The guys got their cars working good now, so we just have to see. So we're pretty well pleased right now.
Well, who do you think your biggest competition is going to be?
Right now, everybody in front of us, so we'll just see whenever it gets back to green.
I don't imagine there'll be too many of them in front of him after a few laps, guys.
Well, we'll see. He's sitting in 3rd spot right now, Earnhardt is. Richard Petty out of the race, his last Dover appearance. His first, not Winston Cup, it was then Grand National race, 1958. He was 21 years and a couple of days old, as Ken from Canada called in. Concludes his run this season. We'll be back to Dover as we continue under caution right after this.
She's an 83 with over 140,000 on-road and off-road miles. I must be in and out of it 150 times a day. It's a wonder the doors don't fall off. Only trouble was, when the pig charged, it caved in my door. I only used AC Delco. Cheaper parts can cost you a powerful lot. Of course, so can pigs.
AC Delco parts. It's like buying time.
Well, I drive a race car for a living. I depend on the parts and pieces in my car. And I feel so confident knowing that Pennzoil is protecting the moving parts inside of my engine. Pennzoil's quality and protection give me the confidence I need to do my job without second thought. The protection that Pennzoil offers this race team makes us feel great. That's why I have the confidence to use it on the street and in my race car. I recommend Pennzoil to everybody. Pennzoil, performance, protection, quality.
For age-old problems like these, Goodyear introduces a brand new solution like this. Goodyear Wrangler GSA. Goodyear Wrangler GSA has a unique triple tread zone that gives you breakthrough all-service, all-season traction. Mile after mile, year after year. So if you own one of these, you need these. Goodyear Wrangler GSA. Then you'll know why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
What makes a mountain man a mountain man?
Let's find out. Must a mountain man be a big burly guy with an axe? A man of steel? Must a mountain man even be a man? Actually, the only requirement is the right beer. Smooth bush beer or easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and learn what makes the typical mountain man anything but.
The Nashville Network's coverage of the Peak Antifreeze 500 by Pep Boys is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. Well, we just went back to green, but it didn't last long. It length of the front straightaway and then a jam up front. Brett Bodine's on pit road. A lot of damage to the Quaker State Ford. They'll pull that behind the wall to try to make repairs to the Kenny Bernstein car. Ernie Irvin involved in it down in turn number 1. We'll show you here in a moment. There's Brett behind the wall. Dale Earnhardt's car was involved in that as well, though he was able to continue around to the caution flag.
You know, you hear these guys say it's real bad when they start back under the green because the tires are not hot and they don't stick to the racetrack, and everybody's trying to get these laps back because that one bad pit stop becomes for everybody to get a lap down.
There's Earnhardt's car. A little bit of damage, but he was very slow coming down the back straightaway after that fracas in turn 1. Kyle Petty also making a stop, and Mike Waltrip. I believe the black flag had been out for Waltrip. His number was up on the board. Now Irvin is on pit road. He's come all the way around the racetrack, and they'll make repairs to the nose of Irvin's car. It looks much like Earnhardt's you're seeing now.
It may be worse. It'll be hard for that car. That's a lot missing on the nose. If you've got something left to work with, you can, you know, tape it up, but there's not much left to work with there.
Let's show you what happened down in turn 1 as they took the restart just 3 laps ago.
Okay, here we go. They're about 3 abreast going in there. I see Rusty Wallace down under. They have contact there.
That's
He
Brett
gets
Bodine.
into Brett Bodine, and Brett Bodine hits the 4 car.
Brett Bodine was kind of squeezed there in the middle. Maybe we can see that again and get a look on whether perhaps Wallace carried Bodine up, whether he was just up there, or whether Irvin was coming down.
That's what happened. He just went in under him, and there wasn't room there, and the two of them made a little contact. He tried to move over, and he caught him.
Also, let's look for Earnhardt. There he is. See what happened to his car. Davey Allison under Earnhardt.
Cars coming down off the track.
Okay, it looks like Davey Allison's following Earnhardt.